What is up, my fellow gamers? In today's video, we got 9 brand new coupon codes. I have been away for quite a bit. So we got a lot of catching up to do with these coupon codes. We're also going to be going over the awakening as well for characters, so you know which stats you are looking for when doing the awakening re-rolling. Like and sub for more amazing gaming content. Let's head on over to the settings and let's enter these bad boys. We got a lot of coupon codes. The first one is going to be death below power. Go ahead and we will get some fuel. The next one we got is going to be, are you okay? Probably what a lot of people are asking since I haven't made a video in like 5 days. We'll go ahead, we'll enter this one and we get some offline fighter XP. The next one's going to be welcome my club. Also, just a reminder, these codes expire at the end of September. I believe it's September 30th is when all of the codes that we've been going over throughout this entire month will expire. So if you're watching this video after September 30th, you won't be able to use any of these codes, unfortunately. Next one's going to be a lucky ride, and we will get fighter tokens times 30. Next one's going to be let's roll, and we will get some offline gold. Next one, extreme dojo. We'll go ahead, enter this, and we get some fuel. Then we got Terry hello for our new legendary fighter that we have gotten introduced. Whoa, this one's pretty good. Limited seed pouch times 5. That's going to be awesome. Next one is special X and then code. I'm actually surprised we haven't gotten any ruby ones. It's all been like items, offline fighter. None of these codes have given us rubies. And then our last code is going to be KOFDOT or dot and then follow. We'll go ahead, we'll enter this. Ooh, origin mirror times 5. So that will help you go ahead and reset some characters. Once you get them to 1 star, that is when you not only enhance their skills, but you're going to unlock this additional stat attribute increase, which is going to be right here called the awakening. So the awakening lets you go ahead and it lets you re-roll stats specifically tied to this character. Now, click in the top left corner where the little percentage is. We can see a breakdown of the rate. We can see that the legendary has the lowest chance to drop at 0.15. And then if we go ahead and we actually click on it, we'll see a complete breakdown of the stats as well. So the legendary rarity, attack percentage, and how high the attack could be. So we could get an extra 8% if we roll a legendary attack, but you can see it's a 0.005% chance to roll, and you can kind of go through all of these, scrolling down and seeing there is an attack 7%. Just because you get a legendary stat, it doesn't actually mean it is the highest stat. As you saw, there is an attack of 8% under the legendary, but you could also get an attack of 7.5%. You could get an attack of 7%. Now, I think the biggest question a lot of players are going to be asking is, well, which stats do I re-roll for? And the best way I'm going to try and explain this to you is to kind of teach you, so that way you understand what to look out for, because there's so many characters. I can't sit here and show you every single perfect re-roll for every single character. Instead, what I want to do is I want to teach you what to look out for, so that way you can take this as a skill and actually use it. So for this example, we got Chizuru, we got single target damage. Our active skill, we got single target damage. And then finally, our finisher does AoE, attack to all enemies. And then for our passive skill, we have the dodge ability, which means the enemy's next attack will miss. So we'll completely dodge it. Now, because of that, I would kind of say that you don't even need to look out for dodge. I wouldn't put a dodge reroll on Chizuru since she already has this active passive skill, which means regardless of her evade, she's just instantly going to dodge the attack. So I would just stay away from that. And then just kind of based on this, she doesn't do anything special like debuffing or buffing or anything like that. So for something like this, where it's just straight raw attack, the best one to kind of look out for is just attack, crit rate, crit damage. You can see right now I got defense. I kept this one just because it was a high reroll. I also got crit damage right here. And then we also got a crit percentage as well. So for this instance, I would probably re-roll the defense. The defense wouldn't be the one that I would really want to keep, but I got a high rarity, so I'm kind of keeping it for that instance. But if I have enough, you can see that I've got 22,000 of these saved up. So I got quite a lot. So I could definitely re-roll this to get something better. But you know, if you're getting low on these and you're re-rolling, and you only have maybe a couple re-rolls left, it's best to just take whatever the highest rarity is that you have instead of trying to specifically worry about stat chasing. Always try and take the highest rarity, but ideally you do want to look for very specific stats for these characters. So another example I have would be for, let's say, we have a character like this one, Maxima. If we take a look at his skills, he specializes in like debuffs. So you have his active skill, which puts the stun effect on enemies. It's a debuff. It could be any character that's putting a debuff on, whether it's a stun or whatever it may be, right? For these characters, you really want to look out for the effect accuracy, because that's pretty much what they're best at. If you take a look at their other skills, their finisher skill, he's doing 408% attack to all targets. That's kind of like, it's not horrible, but there's other characters who have better AoE damage, who hit for like 500, 600 damage to all. So this isn't really going to be a character who's going to specialize in doing straight raw damage. We're more using him specifically for his stun debuff effect. And we want that to trigger. It's not guaranteed. First of all, it's a 30% chance to inflict it. And then you also have to deal with the fact that you have stuff like the effect accuracy and the effect resistance. So all that goes into play. So if we take a look at this one, we got really good stat rolls on him. I got effect accuracy 8.75%. Effect accuracy 9%, and then I also got attack. Attack is just generally good for anyone. Like attack, you can't go wrong with. If you don't know what to put on a character for their awakening, you can never go wrong with attack. You can never really go wrong with crit rate or crit damage. Although, like I said though, for something like this, he's not really putting out the most crit rate or crit damage. It's more so just we want the effects to stick. We want those effects to go off. So anytime you have a character who's putting on effects, it's definitely ideal to increase their effect accuracy. Another one that I have an example of would be this character right here, Kaio. He actually has buffs built into him, specifically his passive, where his attack is going to increase, and then if a skill lands a crit hit, his attack increases by an additional 1%. So you can see that if he lands a crit hit, he naturally is going to increase his attack. So because of that, we actually want to buff his crit rate. We want his crit rate to be as high as possible because we want this passive to trigger as much as possible. So you want to look out for these skills like this. You want to work with whatever the character is good at. So for this instance, we could head on over. I got crit rate right here of 2.7%. And then I got 2 crit damages right here. This crit damage we got was pretty high at UR. So ideally, I would kind of want to re-roll these crit damages and get a crit rate instead. It's not horrible though to have this. But since I have like 22,000 of these, I could go ahead and I could probably re-roll this lower one, the crit damage one, the EX, and try and get like at least an EX or higher crit rate. Another example would be someone like Athena. She does a lot of attack to multiple enemies, but she buffs the team as well. But if we take a look right here, she has her increased crit damage. So she's increasing her crit damage. She's also increasing her attack and her allies' attack. So for her instance, you would want to buff something like, I got a really ridiculous legendary reroll, so I'm not going to reroll that one. We got an attack 7.5 legendary. But for her, you'd want to look out for stuff like crit rate, attack. I know a lot of people don't have her because I got her from early access, but I'm just trying to use her as an example. You know, someone who is like that, again, just attack, crit rate, crit damage.